Hello everyone, today we're working on a 2011 Ford Powerstroke 6.7 liter. We're doing a transmission flush on it, and when I do a transmission flush, the very first thing I do is drain the transmission pan and change out the filter. A lot of shops don't do that, and we do it simply because the magnet has a lot of crap on, and anything that's settled out of that transmission is going to be in that pan. If you simply hook up a flush machine, you're going to stir up a lot of that crap, and it's going to end up causing transmission problems. I like to get that dirt load out of the system right off the bat. The oil I'll be using is AMSOIL. It's a synthetic automatic transmission fluid. It's fuel efficient, and it meets and exceeds all the specifications for Ford Mercon LV. So we're going to drain that fluid out, get started on it, and I'll be back with you. Okay, we've got the pan drain. There's a nice drain plug on this one here. I have to commend Ford for that. Allows you to drain that pan out nicely. Then the bolts, everything's pretty easy to get at except for these back three here. That bracket's a little bit in the way, but a 1/4 inch ratchet, we can get in there and get those out. So we take that down, and that gets us access to the filter and also to the magnet and any of the junk that's on the magnet. You can see there's usually a lot of fuzz, you know, from the break-in and all that. It's good to get that out of the system. So we'll clean that up, clean the pan up, and the filter itself has got 3 bolts holding it in. And the head of them is an 8mm. There's one right here, fairly long. Put that in the pan. There's one over here on the front side as well. And there's one kind of in the middle in the back. And once we take that and 3 out, then that transmission filter drops out. So we'll clean up the pan, and we'll get ready to put a new filter in, and we'll be back with you. Alright, we're ready to put this transmission filter up. There's 2 bolts for that transmission filter that are shorter than the others. They go on the side towards the front, and then the long one goes towards the rear here of that valve body. And when we put those up, they get torqued to about 97 inch-pounds. They're a 6mm bolt, 8mm head, and it's going to be the same on the transmission pan bolts, are the same size. I'm going to buzz these up, and then we're going to torque them. Okay, the transmission filter's in and torqued down to 97 inch-pounds, and we're ready to put in the pan. Make sure you get the magnet in before you put it up. And it's got a reusable gasket. Clean up the gasket, clean up the surface of that transmission, and put it up, and then we'll torque these to 97 inch-pounds as well, little 6mm bolts. So we're going to do that, and don't forget to torque down or tighten down your fill plug, or your drain plug I should say. And we're going to show you where to do the flush, where we're going to pull the flush from, and be back with you. Okay, this transmission cooler is right here. This is coming from the transmission on the front end of it, and the rear end is the return going back to the transmission. And we're taking this line out. There's a little plastic keeper right here that keeps it on, just like you see right here. And that's to help if the little plastic snap ring doesn't hold. This one here is kind of a bear to get out. You're going to wrestle with. There's a special tool that you have to get that out, and this is a 1/2 inch line, and that goes in there and releases over top of a little plastic snap ring that goes around this high point right here. And what we'll do here is I've got a piece of tubing. It's 1/2 inch OD. It matches the diameter of this fitting right here. There's an O-ring inside that'll seal on. So you basically just push it in. It'll seal on the outside of that 1/2 inch OD poly tubing. And then from there we can go to a drain pan. And we're going to add fluid to the transmission. We're going to put in probably about 2.5 gallons, and then we'll start it up. And that new fluid will push out the old fluid out of the torque converter and also out of this cooler. Once we get a good color change, and we'll stop and button things up and recheck the fluid level. So we'll get started with that and be back with you. We'll go until we get a good color change on it. Starting to see a color change, starting to turn to a nice cherry red, a little lighter color. It's kind of dark there at first. Yeah, it's looking pretty good right there. Okay, shut it off. Yeah, it's looking like some nice clean fluid. We got her pretty well flushed out. The cooler, torque converter, looks good. Okay, we're done with the flush. Now we're going to put the line back on. It's a push to connect line. Like I said, there's a little snap ring inside there that has to be released to release it off this ramp. And basically to put it back together, you just snap it in, just push it in until it clicks. Then give it a tug and make sure it's good. Clean off any oil that's on it. And then there's a plastic keeper that goes on. It's kind of an extra safety they put on there. And that snaps over just like so. Okay, from here what we'll do is fill the tranny back up and recheck the level, take it for a test drive and recheck it again, and we'll be done with the flush. So that's pretty much it for this transmission flush. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. Please check out my other videos on my YouTube page. And I want to introduce you to Amsoil's full line of synthetic lubricants. We have the most complete line of synthetics for your automotive and light truck needs, as well as heavy equipment and semis. Full line of synthetics, been around since 1972, and you can check those out at www.donsoil.com. Also, we have a page for looking up fluid capacities, and that one is fluidcapacity.com. And you can go in there and you can get all your fluid capacities of your vehicle. You can print off a list so that you've got all the capacities of your cooling system, your transmission, your engine, all those. And have a great day.